Well, I gotta say, I was very anxious for this original fight, for the original fight back in last year. I had Dillian Whyte, although he's a fighter that I've never really been very impressed with, so I had my doubts going into that fight, but I thought he would pull it off. And I gotta admit, for the first 4 rounds, I was feeling real good about that bet, and then that happened. So they're fighting tomorrow, the anticipated rematch here, and I gotta admit, I'm of course excited about this one too. Now I lost about $1,200, I think, maybe $1,500, I don't know, on Dillian Whyte last year. Definitely remember the loss. I don't remember exactly how much it was. It was probably about $1,200. He was definitely the favorite that time too, and yeah, it was a very disappointing night for me when he got laid out like that after what I thought was a pretty dominating performance. So I went back, I watched this fight a couple of times, and I got to go with Dillian Whyte again. He's a favorite again. I don't know that the odds are good. I feel like he shouldn't be as much of a favorite as he was. I think he was popping off at minus 370 here before I took this ride. I couldn't see myself laying that kind of money on at minus 370 for him, knowing that, like I said, I never had a lot of faith in the guy. He never really impressed me. I think he's a good fighter. I think he'll beat Povetkin this time. But at minus 370, seeing the way he got knocked out and knowing, I've always thought he had some flaws in his fighting. I think he leaves himself exposed. I don't know why. He, covers up, boom, covers up like that and, puts his head down, which is not good. Seen him do that a couple times throughout the history. It's just unusual for me to see, so it makes me a little uncomfortable. But for the first 4 rounds of this fight, he was pretty much dominating, in my opinion. And I think he will learn from that. Povetkin's now, I don't know how old the guy is. I think he's 40, 41 years old. And I'll tell you, I'm turning 41 in a couple. I'm no fighter, I'm no athlete, but I can tell you, start feeling it at that age. And I think Povetkin is too, will to feel it. And I think also, I know Povetkin, they say he caught the COVID. That's why the fight was delayed. It was supposed to happen, I think, in November and then in January. And doctors like, yeah, he ain't right. My understanding is he was hospitalized for that. So no telling what those lingering effects could be. I know when my brother caught it, he mentioned that it took him a while before he felt like he was breathing well again. And I don't know, maybe all that, the time he had to spend out of the ring and out of training because he was sick, even if he's fully recovered now, can't get that time back, especially at that age. And, I think Dillian Whyte should make some adjustments. I'm not too familiar with who he's got in his corner and none of that, but just looking at the first fight, like I said, I thought he was dominating very well for the first 4 rounds until he got laid out like that. But I think he's going to do that this time. I think he'll ow, it got cold out here. I think he's going to use that jab, keep him on the end of the stick, and if he does, it should be a pretty easy knife for him. I'm looking for him to take a page out of that AJ playbook when he came back and fought Ruiz in a masterful revenge match there. I don't think he's going to be able to move around the ring. Not that I thought AJ moved around the ring well, but he improved as far as his movement, his footwork goes, and I'm hoping we can see that from Dillian. I'm hoping we can see him learn to keep that distance, pump that jab more than he was in this fight. And most of all, I hope, when he hurts the guy this time, I think he will land, unless Povetkin lands first. I expect Dillian to land some punches and hurt Povetkin. And I think when he does, I hope when he does, he jumps on him this time. I thought he could have jumped on him a little more in that first fight. Not after the second knockdown, because the bell rang pretty quickly after that, but after that first knockdown. So that's what I'm hoping for. I put $950. That was the max that Bovada let me bet on this fight. Not for Dillian Whyte to win outright at minus 370. Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of those odds. Shit, that was my turn. I was going to go look at this house. But at minus 190 to win by stoppage. I don't see this fight going the distance. I suppose it could if Dillian is not all that comfortable. You know, he played not necessarily not comfortable, but you know, if he's a little more reserved, I suppose it could go the distance. I don't expect it to. I think he's going to stop the guy in. I mean, if I had to guess a round, I'd say probably the 5th or the 6th round, but maybe before that. But again, I'll just take it at minus 190, $950 to win $500. Hoping to make a quick buck tomorrow and yeah, pay for some of the accessories that I just bought on my other motorcycle. So that's my plan. We'll see how that goes.